Hard, hard, as in helpless, as in arduous, as in this is not right, as in it's difficult. Applying into dental anesthesia is a hard process, especially since there are only 10 programs in North America and there's only 34 spots. So, Doc, what was the hardest part of this process for you?
I think by far the hardest thing is the entrance exam that we have to take to apply for this job. And that is the CBSE, which is the Comprehensive Basic Sciences Examination. It's an exam that covers essentially USMLE content, and the USMLE is the boards that the medical students have to take to become board certified and pass or graduate from medical school. And so the CBSE covers that content. So it's essentially the first 2 years of medical school content on the exam. And going to a dental school that is the newest dental school in the last 50 years in Texas, our curriculum is very different than, some other dental schools that have been established that have had curriculums in place for a long time. We have an integrative curriculum, and so we learn what we need to learn for dental school. And, we're not one of the schools where you take all of your didactic classes with med students. For me, having to teach myself 2 years worth of medical school content to take this exam and score well enough to have a good enough score to apply for this job was my biggest challenge. Easily, I can answer that question with my eyes closed.
Yeah, okay, got it. Are you fearful of the dentist? Do you have dental phobias, apprehension? Are you one of those individuals, or you've heard people who say, I hate the dentist, I hate the dentist? Well, one of the reasons why they hate the dentist is because of having to get numb, right? Maybe scared of the needle or just whatever that phobia is. Well, today we're going to talk to a dental student who just matched into dental anesthesia. Yes, dental anesthesia, which is like the sleep dentists. We're sleep dentists, right? We have the solutions to successfully making sure that we can help you conquer that apprehension. And she's going to tell us all about how she matched into the program. She's going to also tell us about how she put together her application, how she ranked her program, how she did her interviews, all that and more. So stay tuned. Hey, this is Dr. Darwin, a new dentist coach, for another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist Podcast Show, where we talk about getting into dental school, getting into residency, and then life as a new dentist. Be sure you're continuing to share this content, comment, save it for later, go back, use it as part of your process to get into residency. Also, this episode is being brought to you by GetIntoDentalResidencyChallenge.com, the ultimate resource to help you jumpstart your application process for residency. For more details, go to the link down below, okay? And join the next challenge. Today, we're talking with special guest who is recently successfully just matched into probably it is definitely one of the newest dental specialties, but also one of the dental specialties that's very, very competitive. Today, we're joined with student Dr. Sydnye Fields, who's on the countdown. She's got 2 countdowns. She's got completion of dental school as a countdown, but she also has a countdown into launching her career as a dental anesthesiologist. Doc, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm great. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself for those that may be meeting you for the first time as well.
Yes, sir. So my name is Sydnye Fields. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a 4th-year dental student currently at the Woody L. Hunt Texas Tech School of Dental Medicine. My dental school was a brand new dental school that just opened in 2021, and I will be a member of the first graduating class. So the inaugural class here at Tech. I was a former college volleyball player. I attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill for 3 years, and I played volleyball there for 3 years. And then I ended up transferring my junior year to Texas A&M, and I completed my collegiate career playing at Texas A&M. I studied chemistry and Spanish, and I graduated in 2015. Wait, did I graduate in 2015? 2019, sorry. I graduated high school in 2015, 2019. I hope you can edit that out.
Yeah, yeah, hey, I get it. As a volleyball player, jumping up and down, your brain is moving, going left and right. You can't remember some of the things. I get it. Same thing happened to me running track at college. I get it. I don't remember everything. So H-Town, Houston.
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Lived there for a while. Love Houston. And UNC, I went to UVA, ACC rivals.
Okay.
So that's great. That's great. Outside of that, the only other thing we have in common is Spanish. Yo hablo español solamente un poquito, but chemistry, nah. Can't say we have that in common. But that's great, Doc. During the time that's even most important, which is the second phase of this process, which is the interviews, right? So let's talk a little bit about the interviews because I have a feeling that the experiences that you had leading up to the interviews that you had during your externships was probably a good resource of conversations and getting to get to know you even more based on um, some feedback or some questions they had for you about those different externships. So let's talk a little bit about the number of interviews that you had and just some feedback about how the interview day was and if there were any tricky questions that maybe just kind of unique to dental anesthesia or maybe not. I don't know.
So I was fortunate enough to receive 6 interviews out of the 7 programs I applied. Obviously I was shooting 7 for 7, but like you mentioned, it's very, very competitive. We had a great, interview class and pool of applicants for my application year. So I was blessed and fortunate nonetheless. And I had all virtual interviews with the exception of NYU. Their interviews are always in person every year, so I had to fly to New York to complete that interview. And I would say for the most part, my interviews were very conversational. Like I mentioned, a lot of the programs already knew who I was and like had a pretty good relationship with me because I had been to the ASDA conference my first year of dental school and also my second year of dental school. And I also externed there. So mainly it was like just asking me like general questions. A lot of them want to know like why anesthesia? Like why do you want to do this? Are you committed to this? Do you really know what this is all about? And I will say like some of my interview questions at some places were like case scenarios. If your attending feels that you should do the anesthetic plan this way and you don't necessarily agree with that, how would you go about, handling that case? Or if a patient came in and they told you that they had just eaten like a small bite of a bagel before, you're supposed to be NPO a certain amount of hours before being put to sleep, how would you handle that case? So like different case scenarios, ethical case scenarios, but also related to anesthesia in the operating room. Some of those questions I was like, thinking really hard about. I'm like, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing and giving the right answer. For my particular program, we had a case scenario that was emailed to us after our interview day, and we had a couple hours to formulate a response and email back how we would proceed with the case and handle that person. So that was a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not an anesthesiologist yet. I do not
Right,
know
you
how.
got a post test already?
Yeah. So that was, I mean, yeah, that was interesting. Obviously, I guess I gave a great answer because they still ranked me high, and I matched there. But yeah, I think just conversational, like, they do know me from all these times, but then also like anesthesia-based questions, like if we bring you here to this hospital, like how are you going to work with our team? And if we have, these things arise, like how are you going to handle that? Like, are you a person that is going to be causing conflict, or are you a person that's going to be trying to bring a solution and be a team player? So I think
Now,
that's
did
really
they
what I want to see, like that you can work well as a part of a team.
now did they ask you that specifically? Like, how are you going to work with our team, or did they a ask a question for you to kind of elaborate how you've maybe have worked in a team setting in the past?
Yeah, like how tell us about a
Okay.
time that you worked with a team or like that there was a conflict with a person and how you handled it. That type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, not too many trick questions because that interview is really to get to know you even more uh, above and beyond your time spent as an extern, right? Doing your externship. So it's just more getting to learn you, which is great because, 30 minutes, 45 minutes for a traditional interview, if it's that long, is really not a lot of time to get to know the person in person, right? Get to know the person in person. Whereas if you have been there for an extern, that by the time you get to the interview, it's more FaceTime, so to speak, literally FaceTimes because you had virtual meetings. So that was good. You didn't have to travel too far around the country for your interviews. Outside of the post, well, not the post interview questionnaire case scenario, were there any other parts of the interview that was surprising to you, or any questions they asked that were surprising? Like, oh my God, what? They asking me this question?
No, I wouldn't say. I think I was like pretty like smooth going. I know some of my classmates who had like a peds interview, they asked them like, how would you describe the color purple to someone who's blind? Or like very random, like weird things. Like I didn't have anything like that at all. There was we did have like pre-interview, I don't pre we had like a session before the actual interview with all of the residents where they like gave a presentation about the program and like allowed us to ask questions. That was something that I wasn't accounting for, but like it's not mandatory, but it's um like you're voluntold, as we used to say in volleyball, like you're voluntold to attend to do that. So that was something that I wasn't preparing to account for the extra days to make sure that I was able to log on to do those. And I live on mountain time, so it's a little bit different, like for the programs are on the East Coast, like just like the time wise. But um yeah, that was something
Oh,
else that I also had
so
to.
basically, before you had your actual interview day. Say if the interview day was on a Wednesday, on that Monday or that Tuesday, there was a session that the residents for each of those programs had as kind of like a presentation, introduction to our program that you had to attend. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and then like all the interviews are also like back to back. So then like for my in-person interview, I had to leave on a flight to get there, the day before. But that night I also had a pre-interview session that I had to attend. So I couldn't fly that day. And then like it just kind of made scheduling, moving around a little difficult because like I said, I didn't know that those were going to be things and every program had it. And I'm super grateful for it. Like we got to talk to the residents one-on-one and the program directors logged off. And we also got to talk to the program directors, but it's just something to like note that that's a part of the process.
What's the best way for people to contact you?
They could email me. I'll give my personal email since I won't be graduating or I'll be graduating from school. I won't have my Texas Tech email. So it's just my name, Sydney, spelled SYDNYEF, as in Frank, at gmail.com. My name is spelled very uniquely. So it's not Sydney EY, it's Sydney YE. And then I've also just had a lot of people reach out to me and message me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. My name currently is Sid Fills, SYDFILLS. In May, when I graduate, I'll be changing my name to Sedation, so it won't be Sid Fills anymore. But yeah, I would say email or Instagram is fine. I have responded to everyone that's reached out or tried to. If there's someone that DM me and I didn't answer, please message me again. But yeah, I think like I'm very passionate about pre-dental students and like just helping people in general because I feel like when I applied to dental school, I didn't necessarily have that. I didn't know a lot about dental school. I didn't really know what I was doing besides the pre-dental society and our volleyball team advisor who was just like, these are the prerequisite courses, girl. Like, that's all I can tell you. And
Right.
so I just aspire to be the person that I wish I had. And so whether that's for dental school or for residency for anesthesia, I had a lot of great advice from my future co-resident. But I also just reached out to him on Instagram and I was like, hey, can I ask you some questions? So I think
Yeah.
that's why I go so hard is just because I want to help people and everybody can reach their dreams. And if I'm able to be a part of that process, then that's amazing. So.
That's right. Well, you are part of the process. You're doing it, and you're helping people right now who listened and who probably need to do two things. Number one, go back and listen, supplement your notes with all this good information and value that Dr. Fields have shared with us. And then the second thing is go to the next episode. Go to the next episode right now. Go, go.